Awesome, Shawn, man. Thanks so much for obviously jumping on and joining me. Coming off, a milestone month for you. So as we know, I like to do these just in those milestones, obviously to reflect on how far you've come in the lessons and obviously what you've been able to achieve throughout the program, man. So yeah, congrats. We'll get into obviously a little bit of the weeds of what that was like for you. But I mean, to kick off, I'd love to just kind of hear about you and obviously the business that you've got, what you guys do, and how long you've been around, and yeah, a little bit of an intro would be awesome, buddy, if you can fill us in there.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks for having me on this call. So Willy Wagtail Clothing, I launched in November last year. So we're actually, I think tomorrow, 5 months old. So not that old, but like you mentioned, yeah, pretty good milestone last month. So Willy Wagtail Clothing. So I sell men's premium essentials, basically. Our main product is a Tencel based men's boxer briefs. So they're very moisture wicking, very comfortable, as you know. And yeah, they're our bestseller. In addition to that, we sell organic cotton t-shirts and socks as well. So all kind of with I guess the brand concept of sustainability. So around the fabrics and packaging as well. So all the packaging for the products and our mailers and everything, all paper based. Yeah, just with that kind of environment and planet Earth focus, and
Yeah,
that's really like that.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, absolutely love your products. I've got a few pairs, which is amazing, man. They're definitely the favorites. I mean, for you, like just starting out, late last year and things, it's so exciting, obviously starting out your business and, itching to kind of get validation and stuff like that. It sounds like that you got a really quite a big start with it. I mean, what was it for you just starting out? What were kind of the action steps that you took even prior to the program, but to get the validation for your product, like that people can kind of, I guess, learn from, in getting that initial validation? What did you consciously kind of do to put the word out there and start to get some early sales, if you recall?
Yeah, it was, early on, I guess from day one, I tried to give free pairs out to as many people as I could. It doesn't always translate into sales, which you'd love it. You'd love for it to translate into more sales, but it does. And I think it's something you need to do just to get validation from people, because, if anyone runs not just clothing business, but anything, you sell a physical product, you need feedback from people. And especially with clothing, when you go through lots of rounds of sampling, and manufacturers don't want to produce like 50 samples for you, right? Just takes a lot of time. And so you can't give out like a huge amount before you kind of commit to your a bigger bulk order. So I think early on, give out as many as you can so that you can get that validation. And it kind of just picked up. So we had a huge photo shoot about a day before I launched, and the launch date was not planned at all. I didn't plan anything. I launched the very next day after the photo shoot. That was about, a 12-hour day. Started at the beach at 5 a.m. for sunrise. And all the guys that were modeling for us that day were posting on Instagram. So it was kind of the buzz happening around my own Instagram page, everyone tagging Willy Wagtail Clothing, and just, there were, I think, 4 people between photographer, videographer, and their assistants. They were posting reels and photos and stuff. And it just, I guess, picked up a lot of steam. It's not like it went absolutely crazy, but it slowly gained steam, over the last 5 months. But so when I got home that night after the photo shoot, I thought, like, I need to launch this thing. Like, I had the product here. I had it here for a couple of weeks, I think, at least enough to, certainly wasn't going to sell out of the small amount of inventory I had. But so I just worked late that night and got the site ready enough, wasn't pretty, but I had, I guess, what I needed to kind of have a baseline website so people can purchase. And I just launched it. And the first few sales were obviously people I knew. And then I think a few days later, I took a stab at Facebook ads, and they weren't as they didn't perform as well as they do now after joining the program and kind of working out all the bugs and tweaking them a bit after joining the program. But it's still, it generated traffic, right? That was hugely important. So
yeah. That's I mean that's kind of amazing how you're just like, let's get on with it. Not a lot of people, most people honestly are kind of more perfectionists than not, especially with their own products and brands. Like, okay, now we've got to plan this out, we've got to wait this, and that could take another few weeks or months. Like you could have been easily in that position. Whereas you're like,
yeah,
no.
and I'm usually that, I'm not perfectionist as well. And I feel like the website still isn't there. I feel like there's still lots of improvements, but maybe from the customer's perspective, like, oh, this is cool. It's something new.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like Gymshark's website, or you know what I mean, like some big brand, but eventually it will get there. And I think I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I pulled the trigger and launched it. Right.
Yeah.
There was some momentum on social media, and I thought, like, gotta at least try and capture some of that. So
Yeah, no, I think that's such a wise thing, to do. And yeah, obviously you were able to capture it and start to build that momentum. There's never a good time, but actually on the contrast, there's never a bad time, right? You just move
yeah,
forward. I think today, right? As people say, it's like, when's the best time? Yesterday. When's the next best time? Like now. So
exactly.
I think that's really case in point, which is awesome. And then, I mean, I think we connected. It was either not long like after you launched or just around that time, and then obviously reconnected towards the end of the year when you felt ready to jump in. But I mean, what I'd love to just kind of hear where things were at with you before jumping in, what you felt like you were kind of maybe struggling with at that point, or what you were looking to get out of getting some guidance. What do you recall what it was sort of like about before we
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually connected, I think, well, I first started following you, I think last April. So when I was very, very early stages designing my products, and I guess, in conjunction with designing products and trying to think of everything really as kind of a solo entrepreneur, you have to do everything. I just started, consuming as much information as I can around e-commerce. And so I think my decision to join your program was really just the fact that I just wanted to fast track things. Like I mentioned, you have to do so much as, the sole person running the entire business. It's easy to lose focus on, your priorities. What should you focus on next? You could, you could work 6 months on improving the website and maybe not even launch, but once you launch, you're in, baby. Like, so it's easy to lose track of what the priorities are, what you should focus on, because ultimately you want to maximize sales, right? So it was kind of a no-brainer, with the, I don't know, I guess it's relative business to business, but with some early wins, some early sales on the board, launched around Black Friday. So there was a lot of people online looking for deals and wanting to spend money. I thought, like, all right, it's gaining some traction. Like, I think around Black Friday, trying to think what the best sales day was. It might have been like $800, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, it's incredible. And I think I only just launched Facebook ads like, a day or two before that. So they started to work. And so I just thought, I guess short answer is I just want the fast track. And why struggle through things? And I think the best part, as well as, your experience in e-commerce with meta ads and the community, right? You're leveraging like a brain trust of people that are at various stages of their businesses. Some might be 10 years, some might be 10 days old. But they're all going through the same things, right? Like, how many emails do I send out for this campaign? Like, we're all going through that kind of same journey. And it's a lot of really smart people in there that will, that have a lot of different types of businesses, but like, you can just borrow ideas from them, right? Like, oh, I'm doing this for my baby clothing business. You're like, oh shoot, I could spin that and do that for my business, right? Like, there's so many different, I guess, levers you can pull, and just fast track your learning, right? Like
Yeah.
there's so much content on YouTube and on the internet. Like what's actually valuable? So it's just
Yeah.
kind of,
Mm.
concentrate that information.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned, yeah, the community, absolutely, because that's kind of almost like a bit of a, well, for those that haven't been part of communities and stuff before, they don't really know the value, and that's something that is quite surprising when
Yeah.
they come in. Just to have, as you say, like the brains trust, I really like that, because again, people kind of get surprised about the transparency and the sharing. You are absolutely one of those people that does share strategies and techniques that works for them, and that's, you must be a big believer in kind of that, law of reciprocity, that people will then freely give information to you. And that's kind of what, has been a massive priority for me in terms of crossing over, as you said, borrowing strategies here and there. And that's where we unlock sometimes what's called like blue oceans, for example, if you kind of know that concept, where it's like, this is the red ocean, which is what everyone else is doing. But if you pull something from a different industry and adapt it to yours, it opens up a whole another level of potential customers, or that particular strategy, whatever it might be. So yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned that, man. And I think one of the biggest things I've observed from you, and pretty much case in point about how you just said stuff it, let's launch, is just your level of action taking. And I think that that's a really common thing that I see amongst, 7-figure entrepreneurs and people in e-com, is the ones that have the quickest speed to action, get the feedback the quickest, and find the right path the quickest. There's literally no doom and gloom or failure about trying something or going down that path and having to conclude that it's not the right way to go, or if it is, obviously, but you're the fastest to get to that eventual right strategy or destination. So I love that, man. And obviously you just mentioned, sharing strategies. Of course, there is ecom generally, and the similarities we see amongst businesses, which is obviously the crux of the program, is really, really important. But then, as you said, also, it's like, well, what about my stage? Meaning, like, I need assistance with ads or emails or whatever it might be. Just really kind of bringing that calm as to, okay, I'm good. I know what I actually need to do. Because we spent 5 years figuring this stuff out, my brother and I, and it was hell. Like I sort
Yeah.
of look back sometimes and being like, how the hell did we keep going for that long? I mean, I think we just kind of didn't give ourselves an out, which is amazing, obviously. But
Yeah.
but yeah, now that's obviously what I'm, providing for you guys. And again, what you kind of mentioned with just expediting the process. Like, there's people that have made the mistakes that you inevitably will make, or maybe not. But if you can just know what those pitfalls are and just kind of sidestep, keep going, sidestep, keep going, you're so much better off, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, case in point, you've just basically gone from 0 to 10K in 3-4 months. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
First,
something
what,
not a lot of
third
people
month?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So it's huge, man. So, awesome, dude. Really, really congrats, obviously. And I know there's massive things for you. We've got, a couple little things that we're tweaking. And what I love about it too is obviously that simplicity of the plan too. That there's no kind of like fairy dust over here or like magic trapdoor over here. It's like, no, the fundamentals stay true. We talked about obviously our positioning and messaging, today, that you're going to grab some stuff from and put that into your assets and marketing. So things can always improve. We're never at that destination of perfection, but as long as we're always trying to increase by 1% a day, then, we're in really good stead. So, I've loved obviously watching you and helping obviously through it. But I mean, just as a sort of final question, I guess, like, from now being on the other side of, call it like the wisdom, right? Like, you kind of gotten help and you may have had experience in the past as well, which maybe contributed to your decision making there. But being on that other side, like, for people that haven't kind of invested in themselves or their progress or whatever it might be, what would you sort of say to people like that are kind of struggling or apprehensive or stagnated, about well, this program specifically, I guess?
Yeah, I think like I mentioned before, just knowing, what to focus on. And it is challenging at times. I do really believe in investing in yourself, to join. And, you could be in a million different Facebook groups with 1,000 people. But they're not necessarily on the right track, or, accountable to themselves, right? They could, what else can I say?
Yeah, or different stages, Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're all
we
at
see that
different
we see that all
stages.
yeah, we see that all the time with
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that. And Sure, most of them probably are truth and things like that, but where people do make the mistake is they're trying to put the cart before the horse, right? It's like, oh, go and do that strategy. It's like, well, but you're not ready for it. So it's like you need to do this step first. So I think that's kind of
Yeah,
what you were getting at.
yeah, yeah. I think if people are primed and ready to make not just a financial investment, but I think you know, an investment in being accountable and being disciplined and being consistent. I think those are key as well. Whether you're in the program or not, you need that.
Mm,
Being in the program, you know, I think you do make that investment in yourself. You're going to be accountable. You know, the people in the program share the results. And you're, you know, if you're in it, you're going to be like, I want to strive for that too.
mm,
Like, oh, this business is only so many months old and they're doing this. Like, I can do that too. Like, I think you have greater belief, I think, when you have people around you, like in the
mm.
community, they're doing things that you didn't think were possible, right? Like,
Yeah.
and there's the support with you behind us to help us get us there.
Yeah.
And you know, you do feel more accountable and involved in the community. People are responding to my questions and things like that. And yeah, I think when you do make that investment in yourself and in your business, like, you know, put the pedal to the metal and just go and like don't let up,
Yeah.
right? We're all doing this for a reason, you
Mm.
know. You know my reasons, and you just you don't stop until, well, you don't stop.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you don't let
Exactly.
up. You don't let up.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to reach those goals. So
Yeah. I love that attitude. And you have the faith and the belief until you see evidence that these things are possible, right? That's how we all
yeah,
start with our business, with this big dream. And as you say, that why, and I just saw a really great quote this morning. It was about, if the why is big enough, if you know why you're doing things, the how becomes easy, honestly, because you just find
yeah,
that solution inevitably.
yeah, yeah.
So I love that. And I love the mission, obviously, behind what you're doing. And yeah, man, that's why it just makes me so happy and just gives me so much joy seeing, people like yourself kicking goals. And it's awesome, man, because I know it's just the beginning. So,
Yeah.
thanks obviously for sharing that, man. I know it's going to be really valuable for people, and with what that stage that they're at, especially in that beginning stage. So yeah, man, thanks for being a part of it, and obviously some really big things to come.
No worries. Look forward to many more calls like this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much.